Hello everyone, thanks for dropping by. Today, let's flip this for you, I've got for you the 1916 Battle Pack number 4 expansion for the In the Trenches system. Now you do have to have the base game. Let's see, it's Devil Dogs or Doughboy. So in order to play this you got to have the base game, one of the base sets. Otherwise you won't have the rules or any of the other maybe admin counters that you need. So just keep that in mind. This is the expansion. Now this came in the mail today, and since it's here, let's take a look. So of course it comes in the, it's a plastic bag system. Now in transit I can see some of the counters got knocked loose, but unfortunately that happens. Although on the flip side, that's good because that tells me that these are cut really well. So I think that they're going to be easy to punch up, but we'll check that as well. So there you go. This is what we got. Let's open up the bag. I know we call it unboxing, so I guess unbagging. Let's unbag. So the first item that we've got to remove is the scenario book. All right, so there it is. So again, this is the glossy paper that they're using. So it's very nice. This will hold up to some use and abuse. We open it up and it goes right into scenarios. Let's see, so we got 6, right? Let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4 over here, 5 and 6. Alright, so just to give an idea, some of the units involved, you have Canadian, German, Hungarian, Austro-Hungarian. Let's see what else we got. British. There you go. So you got a nice mixture of units that you can do. Also, I like your map, which map to use, map layout. So again, good quality. I like the fact that you don't have the crowded text. It's very easy to read. So good quality scenario booklet as well. So fantastic. And then on the back, we've got some combat charts for you, color-coded by type of chart that you need. So there you go. That's about 8 pages. So if you count the cover and the back and your scenarios, it's about 8 pages there. All right, that was the scenario book. Next thing that I've got is a turn track. There you go. So a glossy cardstock on the back, and then we have an advertisement for the, trying to avoid the glare for you, Rising Sun in the Trenches expansion. That was Battle Pack 2 right there. And let's take a look at the maps. And the website said we got 3 maps. So let's see, here's map 1. These are the 11 by 17 inch maps, so I hope you can see that there. Again, very nice artwork on these. Got a nice compass rose for lining up with north. And I'm going to see if I can just zoom in for a moment. Let's see, which way is zoom? That is zoom. So again, everything's very legible. You can clearly see trench lines. Gotta watch my pronunciation. There we go. Then you got forests. Got some city hexes. Also, you can clearly see the contours for hills. Clearly outlined with a dash, white dash, and then you can see just in the artwork itself the contours of the land. So those are all very well done. So this looks like a mostly open, little bit of a hilly landscape with some forests. Alright, so that's the first map. Second map, this looks more desolate and war-torn, scorched earth right there. So again, you can clearly see everything, and just that definitely the scorched earth kind of feeling. This is clearly feeling like no man's land. But again, you can see your trench lines, and you can see it's just marked with a lot of explosions and mortar craters, and artillery explosions have gone off and just pockmarked the earth with desolation. So it's very cool. So we've got, that's the second map. And then this one, this is number 3. So we do got our 3 maps. Here we have a cross between scorched earth, and then a little bit of green that somehow survived. So again, I got it zoomed in, but trench lines, contours marked. You can see by the lines there. So hills are marked. And again, got a little combination of the scorched earth and some green. Let's just zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole map there. So again, there's your 3 maps. 11, was that 11 by 17, if I remember right? That's 11 by 17. Awesome. So you got some variety of terrain to play on. You know, and if you get the other games too, for those who like to kind of create your own scenarios, even if the place names are historically, you know, based on actual locations, but you know, if you're like me, sometimes I just like to kind of make stuff up. So you can definitely still use these maps with other armies to depict other parts of the war. Just kind of have to ignore the names. Now, this is the part I was a little worried about. When the package arrived to me, it was bent. They sometimes have to fold this a little bit to fit my mailbox. So I was worried that some of the counters might be damaged, and I think that's why some of them pop from the sheets. How many sheets are there, you might ask? Well, actually, this is quite a bit for a Tiny Battle publishing game. Most, I guess maybe it's not fair to say most, but a lot of the games I've got up to this point were 1 sheet, about this size here. It's about 88 counters. This has got the equivalent of 3 sheets in there. So check this out. I'm going to pull these out real quick. Like I said, some of the counters popped in transit, maybe popped when this was folded and stuck in my mailbox, but you get a pretty good idea of what we have here. So I say 3 because if you take 1 of the sheets and then, you know, this would be another sheet, and that's a 3rd sheet. So you've got 3 sheets worth of counters. That's really good. That's about, trying to remember from the website, 220 units and then like 130 admin type markers. So quite a bit. And they are double-sided. Alright, so you do get double-sided. And we'll look at the counters here in just a second. Let me grab a couple that popped out of here. And that will also tell me a little bit about these. I'm afraid if I zoom in, I don't know how this is going to show up for you. Alright, well, the quality on these counters are good. There you go. I think they look really well. The artwork's pretty good. There's wire. Most of these that popped out were wired. I have a couple, let me see, I got a couple units that popped out as well. There we go. Here's a, since I zoomed in, I gotta find the camera lens this way. I'm kind of doing this backwards, but there we go. There we got a rifle unit. So again, actually everything on here is really legible. I'll flip it to the reverse side. So they're double-sided. And that was another one that popped out, another rifle unit. I was hoping to do the old finger trick to focus this better. There you go. Thickness of the counters is, I don't know if I should say standard Tiny Battle Publishing thickness. It depends if you've played their games before. But they're not super thick like the boxed games. Because again, these are the bagged games, so I don't want to say that the quality is lower. It's just that to keep costs down, they use a little bit thinner counters, but they are thick enough to hold up to play. So these are still good counters. I only bring that up because that's a point that kind of gets mentioned sometimes on bagged games, not just from Tiny Battle Publishing, but in general that seems to be something people notice, like, why aren't these super thick? Well, in order to, you know, produce this and keep this, you know, feasible, they're a little bit thinner than like a thick boxed game. But the ones that popped off, another thing that some people notice is sometimes when you are separating the counters, they get stuck and you tear the paperwork up. But here I just grabbed one at random. It popped right out. The paper is adhering to the counter really well. There's no tearing or anything like that. Also, what's really nice, I like to talk about counters. Counters for me are kind of the meat and potato. That's what you look at the most. So I like to talk about counters. So a couple things I've noticed right away is that the nub, I'm not sure what you call that, but the sprue contact, on some of these, they pop out. It's very, very small. Now it is on the middle sides, the faces here, but they're small enough that it's not terribly, you know, grotesque or anything like that. I've played some games where, you know, they connect at the corners, and that's why I like to clip them, is because they leave a nasty tuft when they pull away. But this leaves a nice nub that I suppose you could sand that down, but for the most part it's not very noticeable, and the side is clean. So the nub I mostly see on the top. This still looks like a good candidate for clipping to get your nice rounded corner. Now some of these have a rounded corner where they connect at the sprue. As you can see here, right there in the corner, it's rounded, but all the ones in the middle then are nice and square for you to clip. I'm also just going to check right here in the middle. Alright. Again, I just like to check how they come out. You know, so far I see from the counters that have come out or the ones that I've popped, there's a great consistency in the die cut. Excuse me. So I point that out because that means that, again, you're not going to experience any tearing of paper. So this particular counter sheets turned out really good, and the artwork is very clear. You can read the print. I mean, these are nice. What kind of counters do we get? Excuse me. Well, we have, let's see if we can show you. First of all, you get your infantry units with the NATO symbol, and then off to the side, indicator that these are rifle units. This particular expansion, I don't see any mounted cavalry or anything like that. So we've got all of the infantry units then are rifle units. We do have a few vehicles, so early, looks like these are the British tanks there. You've got your nationality symbol, and then you've got silhouette. So the vehicles and equipment have silhouettes. They look really nice. We've got some machine gun silhouettes, and I'm just looking across here. There they are. We got some mortar units, some more machine gun units, flamethrowers, and again just some more machine gun units, but probably just more of a nationality silhouette than the fact that that's a different type of machine gun. Some of these do have different stats though, so you do have variety. Alright, now those were primarily, looks like those are all infantry and vehicle silhouettes. Let's just take a look at some of the admin counters real quick. So most of these on the top were wire, so you can lay out a bunch of wire. Then you have your spent or engaged on the other side. Let's see, you've got your, see if it's on counter there. What is that? CSM, I'm not quite sure what the transport unit is. But then you've got turn marker, aircraft marker, then some woods is needed. You know, just some train markers, scrape. That's about it. Night. So even the administrative counters, again, same thing, just like picking at random. If you, like I said, counters are important to me. So if I just take my finger, push, they're going to separate away. Look at that. That just popped right out. Again, that's an excellent cut on the counter. So there's enough sprue nub to hold them in place. Like I said, if your post office is a little kinder, then when they arrive to you, they should all be there. But when you need to pop them out, they come out really nice. They come out clean. Again, I just grabbed a random spot and nothing's torn. So fantastic. I love it. Well, that's it. You've got your 3 counter sheets. Let me zoom back out so we can lay it all out for you. So there we go. I'm just going to call that counter sheet 1. I'm going to call these, oops, before I lose them, counter sheets 2 and 3. Again, double-sided. You have your game turn card. We then have 3, let me grab it real quick, 3 11 by 17 inch maps of varying types of terrain, from scorched earth to some actual green. And then you have, again, a lovely cover for your scenario packet. 6 scenarios. And there you go. That is the 1916 Battle Pack expansion for In the Trenches. All right, thanks for checking it out. I hope you enjoy, and we'll talk to you the next time we've got a unbagging for you. All right, bye-bye.